Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and today is Wednesday, October 23, 2024. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me and checking in on your regular current astrology. As you know, as above, so below. So when we access the information about vibrations and astrological influences on a universal level, then we know what kind of influences are at play in our own lives. And that gives us more information to be able to navigate our own lives. And personally, I'll take all the information I can get to navigate my own life. And I'm so happy that you're here with me on that journey. I hope that wherever you are in the world today, you're feeling very happy and well and loved and blessed, whole and supported. I can say that here in beautiful Lee Summit, Missouri, I feel very happy and well and loved and blessed and whole and supported on this gorgeous autumn morning. It's beautiful outside. It's about 50 degrees and it's sunny. And I've got the door open because I like to feel the morning breeze. You can see the trees are losing some leaves, or maybe the leaves are losing some trees. I'm not sure. But we are entering the middle of fall. And speaking of entering the middle of the fall, the sun went into Scorpio yesterday. But before we get into all of that, please stop and like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That all helps me a lot. And say hello to me. Give me a comment in the comment section down below so that I can say hello back to you, because I love interacting with my watchers. Okay, thanks for being here. Now let's get on with the astrology. Sun in Scorpio. Went into Scorpio last night. And so now we enter the second part, the middle part of the autumn. And this is the part where next week, at the end of the week, with Halloween and Samhain and Lunar Samhain, we come to that midpoint between the fall equinox and the winter solstice. So we can see that the nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, and the days are cooling off for a lot of us as well. And like I said, the trees are losing some leaves, or the other way around. In any case, the sun in Scorpio is a time when we turn inward, okay? Like the sun is about our sense of purpose in the world. And at this time of year, we begin to sort of reflect on that sense of purpose, right? Make sure that we're coming to it from the right place emotionally. Make sure that we are abiding by what our intuition is telling us about the work that we're doing in the world, our work, social, and civic lives, how we interact with others, and really, are we being authentically ourselves? Are we bringing our best to those outer life things from a deeper sense of inner purpose? So, sun in Scorpio, and the moon is in Cancer all day today. The moon is a disseminating gibbous moon. It's a waning gibbous moon. So we have that full moon in Aries behind us. I wonder how that went for y'all. Feel free to leave a comment if you had full moon in Aries shenanigans go down in your life. Now the moon is a waning gibbous, and in Cancer, the moon is right at home. So, waning gibbous is a time when we are starting to notice, what has gone well for us, and also what is extra now, what we no longer require to hold on to for our creative process. And that can be stuff and things. It can be thoughts, attitudes, and dispositions. It's a time to be at least noticing what we can shed, what we can release, what we can let go of. And that includes stuff that we might have released into the world in terms of, artistry or other works of genius, distributing our work or distributing our ideas so that other people can appreciate them. Moon in Cancer, that is the moon right at home. So if you're feeling like being at home and taking care of yourself and nurturing your loved ones, and maybe tidying up your home or making a nourishing dinner, that would be right in line with what the moon is doing today. And tonight, late tonight, the moon is going to move on into Leo. So, of course, there's a void of course that goes with that. The void of course is the period of time between when the moon makes its last aspect in one sign and when it moves on into the next sign. So there's this gap there that is sometimes a few minutes long, sometimes several hours long, where the moon doesn't really have any influence. It's not really doing anything that might impact us very heavily. So that's a great time to pause and reflect, get with your creative and intuitive practices, do your meditation, your reflection, your journaling, that kind of thing, and sort of process what you've been through over the past couple of days and weeks. So that void, of course, is this evening. It's really very brief and Central Standard Time, right? So adjust for your time zone, but it starts at 11:45 tonight, and it goes till about 12:30 tomorrow morning. And then the moon will move on into Leo. And when the moon is in Leo, we become a little more sparkly. We become kind of show offs. We want to be generous with other people, especially since we're in that giving phase of the moon where we are letting things go and pushing things out into the world. Generosity comes up a lot with that Leo moon, which is coming up tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll have the half moon, the waning half moon in Leo. Okay, so that is really our signal to move from thinking about what we can let go of, thinking about what we'd like to release, noticing what is no longer serving a purpose, and actually doing something about it. Actually releasing things into the world, or pushing stuff out of the house, or again, thoughts, attitudes, and disposition. Generously letting go of whatever it is that we've been holding on to so far. Okay. Also, tomorrow, Mars is going to have a sextile with Uranus. And, sextile is generally a pretty positive aspect. It's a pretty good vibration in terms of cooperation. But we're talking about Mars in Cancer, which is a frustrated, sort of slow vibe anyway. And Mars is moving very slowly right now. It's slowing down because it's getting ready to go retrograde. So that Mars in Cancer feeling is a little bit like, I'd like to be like a little chomping at the bit, right? I'd like to be making faster, better, more direct progress than I am, but I'm finding that I have to take a couple steps sideways before I can make a step forward. And Uranus just brings surprises. It brings upgrades in perspective. It brings upgrades in technology for sure, and understanding. But often those surprises, they can sort of rock us a little bit, right? It's not necessarily. It's kind of a matter of what you make of it. So with Mars sextile to Uranus, this is sort of a potentially, I want to say, almost explosive situation, not very fiery, right? Because Mars is in a water sign and Uranus is in an earth sign, more of a creative situation. So maybe, you'll have a bonkers great idea about something that you can create. But just, prepare, prepare as you're trying to take action to have a little surprise come in, or notice something that you didn't notice before, or learn something that you didn't know before. Okay, and again, like I said, it's depending on how you take it. So try to have a positive attitude about the surprises that come up for you. They are potentially frustrating, to say the least, and they can cause a little bit of agitation in your day tomorrow, especially. Then coming up on Saturday, Mercury is going to make an adjustment to Chiron. And then on Sunday, Mercury is going to make an adjustment to Jupiter. So adjustment energy that with Mercury, that's adjusting the way you're communicating about something, adjusting your message, adjusting your plan going forward, right? Adjusting your routine a little bit. In Saturday's case with Chiron, adjusting to fit the problem that you want to solve, or adjusting to fit the healing that you're seeking, adjusting the plan to fit, the resolution of some issue. And then on Sunday, it's Mercury again, your plan, your communications being adjusted to fit your bigger aspirations. So those bigger, better things you'd like to be, do, and have, that's what Jupiter is about. And in Gemini, it wants to double everything that you that you plan, everything that you do. You might have to do things twice to get that expansion that you're looking for. But it's really just understanding that the plan has to be flexible. Okay, we can't be too rigid in the way that we are executing our plans. We have to be able to go with the flow and make adjustments as we move along. And then coming up next Monday, Mars is going to trine Neptune, which again, Mars and Neptune, like trine is a very positive vibration, okay? So it can be about acting on our ideals, and it can give us a lot of grace and ease in terms of being able to act on our ideals. So you think, if I really ran the zoo, this is the way that I would have it. And if I take action on this, it might actually happen very easily. And I like that kind of vibration, but I want you to look out because Mars and Neptune, Mars is again in a little frustrated zone. Neptune is right at home, but Neptune can bring fog. It's about what we idealize. It's about what we have faith in. So it can also be sort of a little self-deceptive, right? So I want you to look out for, wolves in sheep's clothing, things not being as they seem, but understand that it's a great vibration for, knowing what's ideal for you, acting on that, and maybe getting a better result than you thought it would. Also on that day, however, Venus squares Saturn. So that's sort of what I want versus what I'm committed to, what I like, love, and can't get enough of versus, my responsibilities. And also it feels a little bit like not necessarily playing by the rules in love and friendship. So there might be a little hurdle to get over, a little, just like, this is what I want and this is what I have to do. And, am I going to let what I have to do keep me from getting what I want? And am I going to let what I want keep me from doing what I'm responsible for doing? Right. So don't let yourself be stopped from taking care of your responsibilities. It's probably the best way, Mars trine Neptune, to act and get what it is that you want and have a good outcome from it. And then on Wednesday, Mercury is going to oppose Uranus. And, my note on that is simply plans don't like surprises, right? I was just talking about how the plan has to be flexible. We have to be willing to, know what the plan is and execute it according to the plan, but also willing and able to make changes as we go, make adjustments as we go. On Wednesday, there might be a surprise. There might be some new information that we were not expecting. New perspective that we were not expecting, and that opposition creates sort of a tension, a bit of conflict. And it's like, another change in my plans. I have to communicate another change to the people that I'm dealing with, right? So that can be a little bit frustrating coming up on Wednesday. Then on next Thursday and Friday, I just want to say that Thursday is Samhain and Halloween, and Friday is Lunar Samhain. So they're happening right together. I don't know if you remember in the past, sometimes we have like 2 weeks to celebrate between the solar celebration of Samhain and the lunar celebration of Samhain. And this time we have a day, right? So it's all sort of happening in a compacted time there right next to that new moon in Scorpio, which is always the lunar Samhain. And so, it might be kind of an intense thinning of the veil. You might already be noticing it. I know that I have, and so has Mrs. Rose. So, now is a time, I like to think of the spirit world as being right here with us. Okay. The people that have passed and the things that are going on a level that we really can't normally see or notice. It's all still happening right here around us. Okay. So if odd things start to happen, if you start to notice things, if you start to receive messages from spirits beyond the veil, or just any kind of idea or inspiration from beyond the veil, offer a little thanks to whoever it is that's whispering in your ear, and also, acknowledge for yourself what it is that you are capable of noticing from the other side at this time of year, because it might feel a little spooky, it might feel a little strange, but again, it's about having access to as much information as you can get to help navigate your life and achieve your goals, right? So that's next Thursday and Friday, and also next Thursday with that Samhain and Halloween, and then on Friday with Lunar Samhain, Mercury is going to be trining Neptune. So, whatever kind of lack of clarity, whatever kind of changes we've had to make to our plans and our messaging, That's going to somewhat resolve with Samhain, which is interesting and appropriate. It's going to clarify some things, the plan, the communication, our vision for what we're doing going forward, our vision for navigating our lives on the day-to-day is in this really state of grace with our sense of idealization, our sense of peace, our sense of creativity and faith. So yes, we'll get some clarity at that time. And I really would like it if you would notice what kind of things you get clarity on. And, we'll come back to it. We'll talk about it some more, okay? So that is the coming week or so in astrology. Again, today, Sun in Scorpio for the next week. Sun still in Scorpio. Today, the moon is in Cancer. And late tonight, it moves on into Leo. And I will be back here on Wednesday to talk to you again. It is Wednesday. I will be back here on Friday to talk to you again. I sure do appreciate y'all for showing up, and I'll catch you in the next video. Mwah. Bye-bye.